Welcome, Gemini, to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 23rd of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. Last week, your ruler Mercury enjoyed that sparkling engagement with the Sun on Friday, which may have created some brilliant ideas. You may have felt quite inspired. You get an opportunity at the start of this week to take any delightful strands forwards, but try to find some kind of practical structure for them. Mercury has moved now into house 6 and deep dived into Scorpio. Great for analysing the details. The Sun on Monday joins up with Mercury once more. And if you do want to reform or get areas of your situation working that much more efficiently, this combination will really help. Also, Mars has been in this part of your situation for some while, which has been giving you extra stamina and vigour to get stuck in. So if you want to get fitter, you want to reorder your domestic world, you're thinking about perhaps getting a new job which would be more satisfying, or even considering getting a new furry friend, believe it or not. The sixth house very much to do with animals. All of that can come sharply into focus with this Scorpio season. But also on Monday, we reached the peak of a glorious link between Jupiter and Venus. These are the two planets of fortune, but they are in very sensitive parts of your situation. Maybe the gift to you, as this week begins, is going to be someone's message, someone's appreciation, someone's trust in something you've done, which can be very gratifying. But as the week moves forwards, we do see Mercury aligning with Mars. Now that's great if you really want to find the plan, Mercury, and the thrust, Mars, working together. You could be extremely productive, but it also could make you a little bit impatient and perhaps even a little bit irritable with any imperfections that you encounter, which brings us all the way forwards to Saturday and the partial lunar eclipse. Here we've got Jupiter in your 12th house, really urging you to embrace the more spiritual dimension in your life in an opposition with the collective that is the Sun, Mars and Mercury. Now when Mars and Jupiter are in opposition, it can actually be one of those more challenging aspects that can be positive in some ways. But across the polarities of the 12th, where Jupiter and Uranus are, and 6th houses, where that posse in Scorpio is, this is a lot more challenging potentially, because the impatience that Mars and Mercury can feel if things in the physical world aren't quite right can in some ways be amplified by the sensitivity of Jupiter in the 12th house. So in other words, if something's out of kilter in your everyday world, that can actually impact on your sense of well-being, and you could even feel a little bit vulnerable, maybe some psychological concerns or anxieties can just manifest themselves quite strongly at the end of this week. I think the best way to deal with this, and for the next 6 months, the period of influence of this eclipse, is accept that there may be some parts of your situation that do need to evolve, and finding that sweet spot in terms of making things work efficiently, but at the same time not putting yourself under too much pressure to get them exactly right too quickly is the best way to go. So if there are things that you would like to change, improve upon, if you would like to get more physically active, if you would like to change your diet, shed some weight, or shed that employer that doesn't work for you, just be patient with the process, because the solar eclipse, which occurred on the 14th, is really saying to you that any practical changes you make have to feel right, the 12th house, but they also have to be enjoyable and creative. So the important thing is not to get too caught up with perfectionism, because that actually will just drive any sense of frustration you have, and just focus on being as natural and enjoying things as much as you can, but also increasingly embracing any vulnerabilities and fears you have. They're part of the human state.